I've had my Rebel for just a little over a month, and it's time for the first oil change. I actually just did it, and I just wanted to show a couple of different tricks really quick so that you don't have to struggle through this. There was not a lot of videos online that talked about this, mostly because the I have, let me show you here, is it's the 1100, but it's the manual transmission. There's a big old fan club out there for the DCT. I drove the DCT. I did not love it. Part of the reason why I didn't love it was because the side, the transaxle sticks out so far on the right hand side there. It was hitting my ankle all the time, and it was really uncomfortable. Also, I hated the way it shifted. So anyway, but it's super easy to do the oil change on this thing, and so let me just show you how to do it. So all you need is a regular ratchet, 12 millimeter socket, and so that's pretty easy. That's the only socket you'll need. I went and got this at Walmart just because I wanted to have one that I could use to take off the oil filter. This is take off an oil filter, and it's adjustable. It's really easy. This was like $7 at Walmart. Funnel, cheap funnel, doesn't cost much. Hack, when you're done with it, just stuff a paper towel in it, turn it upside down, and then that way, if there's oil left in it, it will just run out. And then you're gonna need some oil. So it says 4.2 quarts for the oil change. I don't think I got the 0.2 out in all the draining that I did because it only took about 4 quarts. So I have a full quart left, but that's okay. And then the oil filter, I already have it on there, but here is the part number for the oil filter. And so that's all you need to get started on this. It's super easy to change the oil on it. A couple of things first. Let me just run and show you. That is the oil fill plug right here. And then you've got your dipstick right here. And it's important to know that when you're checking the oil on it, you're going to unscrew it all the way first and pull it out, clean it off, and then you're just going to bring it into there and pull it back out again to check it. So you don't screw it all the way in to check it. So just a couple of things. On the manual transmission Rebel, you don't have to worry about the transmission filter. The DCT owners have to worry about, but there is 2 drain plugs, and that held me up for just a second. So let me show you where the 2 drain plugs are at. Okay, so if we're moving from front to back here, there's your oil filter. You're gonna go back here, and you're gonna go all the way back to right there. There's your first oil plug. Let me zoom out just a little bit. There's your first oil plug right there. You're gonna drain everything out from there, and you can let it all drain and stop, and then go. And then the other oil plug is kind of hidden, and it's just right. Let me see if I can find it here. It's right up front, but right there. So they're both 12 millimeters, so same socket will take them both off. So you're gonna drain that one as well. Also, there's your oil filter. You're gonna pull it off, and just make sure you put a little bead of oil on the gasket before you put it back on, or you'll never get it back off again. Honda did a great job with this bike, but the one thing that they messed up on was, I don't know why they didn't put a cover right there. I'm sure you can get one aftermarket. I probably will, but rocks coming off the tire right into your oil filter right there. That just seems like it was an oversight. I don't know why they did it that way. So, quick other little hack, really quick. I took a milk jug and just cut it like that so that I could slide it underneath and drain the oil out. It worked perfect. And then I just dumped the excess into that bucket in between oil plugs. So that's actually the second oil plug. That's the more hidden oil plug. That's how much oil came out of it there. So now that I've done it one time, I can change the oil on this thing really, really quickly. I don't think you need to be too mechanically inclined to be able to go ahead and change the oil on this. The only other thing to be careful of is when you're tightening those plugs back up, my guess is torque spec's probably about 25 foot-pounds. So you're not going to want to get them too overly tight. And that oil filter, once the gasket hits the housing, about another half to 3/4 turn, and you should be good. So there you go. I don't think you need to bring it into into a mechanic or back to your shop to get the oil changed, that's a pretty easy thing to do. And now you know on the manual transmission how to make it happen.